Hey, what's up, guys? Markette Sheppard here, live in my backyard, also known as the Nature Garden. I am going to be talking to an amazing herbalist, Instagram influencer, vegan, who is going to be talking about how you can detoxify, enlighten yourself, energize your body, energize your mind, all by eating vegetables and fruits. What he says human beings were made to eat. Now, I'm not a vegan, but I'm vegan adjacent. And what that means is I'm next to vegans. I'm like, what you eating? What you doing? How you making that? But I still struggle with trying to get all of the toxic foods out of my body. So Eric is live on he's coming to us from New York City, where we first met at Sirius XM Urban View, or actually just Sirius XM Radio. How you
Hi.
doing, Eric?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's so good to see you.
You too.
I wanted to join you live from my garden to let you know I'm vegan adjacent. I'm
I
not
love
vegan.
that. That's it. Baby steps. It's all about baby steps.
Baby steps. I have my fresh kale. I have my tomato plant. As you can see, the tomato plants I've been doing for years.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited to have you here because after I met you, I started following you, obviously, on
hmm
Instagram. And I was like, wow, I had no idea. The videos, the information you post, it has me thinking.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I do it. I try to put it out there. So, because there's a lot of people who just don't know that there's natural ways to heal their body. And so that's why I put the information out there, because I think I mean, there's people doing it, but it's not enough. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And so you are an herbalist. You're a certified detoxification specialist.
Specialist.
Tell
There
me
you
what
go.
that means as I sit back in my chair here so I can learn.
I went to the International School of Detoxification. I actually did it during quarantine. I did it all online, so anyone can sign up to do it. Yeah, and basically it's just a naturopath. His name is a naturopath. Sorry, his name is Dr. Robert Morse. He teaches students how to detoxify their bodies just through raw living foods and through herbs. So it was just a great experience. It's also was something that I could do to be productive during quarantine because I had less of a workload with Sirius. So I
Yeah.
went for it and I did it and I became certified, which it's great because we live in a very like credibility based society. So people want to know that you have some type of certification. So that's why I went for it, and it was a great experience for sure.
I love it because if you're going to be a teacher, of course you should know more
Of
than the people
course.
you're teaching and have
Yeah.
gone through some training, and you actually went through that. This isn't just a hobby for you, which
Yeah.
I love because I was reading your blog. And I was like, hey, let me try some chlorella. Let me try this. Like I said, I'm vegan adjacent here.
hmm
So let's talk about the beginning of your journey. When did you become vegan?
So I became vegan in 2018. I don't have the official date. I have the official date of when I went raw, which was February 28th, 2019. But
So you say raw vegan.
yeah. So raw vegan means, you know what that means?
No, what does that mean?
So so raw vegan means that you don't eat anything that's cooked. So basically I eat fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, but there's dehydrated food. So there's like, for instance, this is a raw wrap. It's a raw coconut wrap. So they take coconut meat and the coconut water. Coconut meat is the flesh of the coconut, and they blend it up and then they dehydrate it. So when you really learn about what raw veganism is, it's not just eating celery
Oh,
or eating carrots. Like you can actually have raw pizza and raw burgers.
okay, you froze for a second there, so I missed the part.
Sorry.
So when you're eating raw, go ahead and pick that up.
So when you're eating raw, there's a misconception. I think it scares a lot of people. That's why I actually prefer to say I eat living foods, because when you hear raw, I think people just think you're biting on kale or you're just chewing on a carrot stick. But there's actually a lot more to it. Like there's raw vegan gourmet food. There's
Okay,
raw
so if
vegan
you're
pizzas, cream cheeses.
okay, so like my garden is raw here. My kale is raw,
hmm
and then I have the tomatoes and I don't know what carrots. I don't know
hmm
something up raspberries, figs over there.
You have a
People are
lot in your
watching.
garden. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying to. I
Yeah.
feel like the more fresh food I can eat, like I didn't
hmm
even know. I'm on a journey here. I didn't even know what food was in season as far as fresh food and what food was out of season until a
Right.
few years ago. And then when you start learning you should eat foods in season because they have less preservatives, they've traveled less, it's easier on the planet. Then you want to know more. So I'm
hmm
like, well, if I grow my food, then I'll eat it in season because when it's done,
Absolutely.
it's done.
It's not gonna grow. Exactly. If it's not in season, it won't grow. So
Exactly. So that's why I
yep.
started with tomato plants about 4 or 5 years ago.
Hmm.
And then we just grew it and grew it. And now I'm on your blog reading. You had an interesting post a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I have to have him on the Glow Girl chat. For all of my friends watching, we're like, I know, like, we're thinking, how can we keep our girlish figure? How can we stay skinny and not gain the COVID-19? But
Wait,
that,
yeah,
yeah, but it's like an entry point to like,
right,
wait, this is so much bigger than trying to stay skinny. This is about being living while you're alive and not killing
right.
yourself through what you're eating.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as far as COVID-19 goes, that a lot of people don't realize because it's not really taught and everyone's fearing the virus. So everyone thinks you have to attack the virus and kill the virus before it kills you. And that's
Right.
just kind of like the medical Western society, medical community way of thinking. But our bodies are designed to be able to get rid of anything, get rid of any viruses, anything that our body, that's not natural, that gets into our body. Our lymphatic system is designed to get rid of. You just have to be able to support your body in doing that. So eating something like raw living foods is a great way to facilitate getting the virus or getting any illnesses out of your body. I actually think I was exposed to the virus when it first came. And I got sick for about 3 days. Yeah, I got sick for about 3 days. But during those 3 days, I just did a juice fast. I took ginger, I took some turmeric, and I was taking just some like olive leaf extract and garlic, which are both antiviral. And within 3 days, I was good. I was back to normal. So I think
That's crazy. That's amazing, and it's crazy. But I'm hearing on the news too, people are saying if you have a compromised immune system, you're at a higher risk. And what you're saying is beef up your immune system so you're not compromised.
Absolutely, yeah. And your immune system, your main immune system is not only your gut, but also your lymphatic system. That's the system that, for whatever reason, the medical community isn't trained on properly. Your lymphatic system is your sewer system. So what that is the same way you eat. If you decided to have kale from your garden or tomato from your garden, your cells are then going to eat from that. And then what your cells get rid of is waste. That waste goes into your lymphatic system. So basically, it's like a toilet for your cells. that's
I
what
love
your
how
lymphatic system is.
you're so clear. I'm getting bit up by these mosquitoes. I might have to move, but keep talking.
Okay. And if you see, just so you know, if you see my phone going like all types of ways, I thought that I was going to be tall enough to be able to like just sit my phone here, but that's why I'm like, because I just don't want to like be cut off. So that's why I'm like moving my phone down. But anyways.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. And I'm like, I thought I could be cool, and I'm doing the vegan chat in the garden. No, these mosquitoes are tearing me up.
It's all good.
All right, I guess I can show y'all my herb garden while we're walking over here. Okay, so vegan can help your immune system. It can also help your skin. Here's my herb garden too. If I can just pick it and pick from my garden, I'm so all about that.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean?
You save money too.
Yeah, I mean, like, herbs are expensive, and I'm like, you can get some seeds, and this stuff grows year after year after year.
Yep.
Especially if you get something like mint is a weed, basically.
Yeah.
Mojitos for days. I know alcohol isn't on your vegan.
It's okay. Everyone's journey
here.
is different. I don't judge anybody for what they, you know.
This is the worst mosquito bitten chat I've ever done. So bear with me here. I'm just rubbing my arms. Okay, so
they're liking your vegan adjacent blood.
Is it because I'm eating too much?
I don't know, because it's crazy. Am I frozen by any chance, or am I delayed? I'm not sure if
you froze a little bit, but I'm closer. Maybe it's me. I'm closer to my house now. Hey, Coach G. Oh, I'm so glad we have a fitness instructor on here, because a lot of times, you know, people talk about food and they talk about working out separately, like they're two separate things. You got to bring all of that together. You can't be fit and be eating crap, okay? And you can't be eating healthy and never exercise and then consider yourself to be at optimal health. So I'm so glad some fitness instructors are joining this Glow Girl chat. We have a question. Actually, Eric, you're back, and we have a question from It's Michael Jose. He says, when planting seeds, what kind of soil do you buy? Oh, I think that's for me. Do you plant stuff?
I was going to say, I think so too. No, I don't have a garden. I live in New York City. I'm like, you have more of a garden than I ever had. So I would love for you to answer that question. I have to learn.
I'm actually glad you asked. I compost too. I'm super about like, not having a lot of waste. So the compost is rich. You can do everything, every piece of fruit, lemon, rinds, anything that you don't eat that's raw, like a raw vegan's diet. You crack an egg. I guess that's not vegan, but I put it in the composter, and then 6 months later, it turns into this rich, juicy soil that makes your garden grow like bananas.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, maybe I'll walk you over there towards the end of this. But
I
go
mhm.
ahead.
I was gonna say I take this thing, this like green powder, because when you eat raw, there's a lot of worries about like not getting all your vitamins and minerals, because a lot of the time,
Yeah.
even with organic fruits and vegetables, they're very like enzyme and mineral deficient today compared to when, you know, our grandparents were alive. But I have this thing called the Wild Forest Green formula, and it has like I think over 50 different wild plants that they put in here. And the creator of this, it was also talking about how you can take green powders like this, or even chlorella. You can actually spray, pour it over your plants, and they'll take in the nutrients from those plants as well. So you can use like green powders. Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay, so I was watching your Instagram live about a week or two ago, and you were talking about chlorella, because
Yes.
a lot of people have parasites and they don't know it. And then you
Hmm.
talk about like vegans being worried about getting all of their nutrients. I remember
Right.
Jaden Smith went vegan, and he literally like turned pale and got so thin, he looked sick. And
Yeah.
then he said, okay, I'm not vegan anymore, I'm going to be vegetarian.
Right.
So can you elaborate on like how supplements can help people, or how you can mix up your diet so you don't have that look like you're depriving yourself?
Yeah, I would say that the more variety, the better. There's a right and there's a wrong way to do any diet. So you can be a vegan and be extremely unhealthy, because French fries and beer are vegan. You know, French fries and pizza is vegan. Oh, not pizza, but there's vegan pizzas. There's you know, a lot of packaged food that's vegan. So that's not a whole foods plant-based diet. There's a big difference between that, between some beans and some rice, or some quinoa, some wild rice, and, you know, just like a vegan pizza with like some fake artificial cheese. So I don't know. I would have to look into what his diet actually was, but something like chlorella, anybody, vegan or not, should add it into their diet. It's actually, it has vitamin B12, which is what everyone's fear is, that, you know, vegans are insufficient in vitamin B12. And it also has so many vitamins and minerals. So if we look at these superfoods and we just include them in the morning with a smoothie, whether if you're vegan or not, it'll be a great enhancement to your diet and to your overall energy in your life. The more raw living food you can get into your diet, that's my motto. It's just going to be the better your health is.
I love it. And
Mm-hmm.
talk about your health and your hair and healthy skin, and how you've seen a difference in the 2 years since you've gone vegan. And then part of that has been raw vegan, and
Yeah.
just your physical appearance.
So, okay, so as far as hair and skin, that it's interesting because I went on a detox. So basically, I didn't just jump into veganism. Well, I did up to a point, and then after being a regular vegan, I ate a lot of junk food actually as a vegan. That was my way to transition from the standard American diet. I then went into detox, and detoxification is a whole another ballgame. When you finally eat all raw living foods, your body's going to start to let go of a lot of parasites, a lot of excess fat, excess, you know, just weak things. So basically my hair at one point was actually very thin and was falling out when I first went raw. After like the first 4 or 5 months, that was just my body.
Where a lot of vegans, they have thin hair, and I'm like, what's going on? That may be something I don't want to do, but
Right.
is it your body regenerating itself?
Well, I wouldn't say with vegans. That's the thing. There's a difference between being a vegan and eating and being a raw vegan, and eating even as a raw vegan, you can do it wrong. You have to make sure you're getting nutrition. That's why I take something like this that has so many different plants in it and have the power of a variety of plants. You have to be able to eat more. You have to eat more calories. A lot of vegans just go into veganism, and maybe they were getting certain vitamins and minerals from the meat that they're not getting in their vegan diet anymore. So if you don't know what to take, like the chlorellas, like the, you know, Gubinj kakadu plum or sea buckthorn and these other things that are you know, great and very highly nutritious, you're going to suffer. You know what I'm saying? You're going to start to diminish, and then people say the vegan diet doesn't work. It's not that. It's just that you weren't eating.
You're not working the vegan diet.
Exactly. Well, yeah, and I mean, I guess there's not a lot of resources. I think there are, but everyone's needs are different. So you know, another thing someone can do is go and get a blood test done if they want to transition into veganism, or after 2 months of being a vegan, to see if they're insufficient in vitamin C, and then look for natural ways to incorporate that into their diet as well. I think smoothies are great, because
Yeah.
you can't sit here and eat like a whole bunch of kale just like that. But if you throw that in, you know, the blender with some grapes or a banana and some strawberries or whatever, you sweeten it up, you can get that in, you know, quickly, and it's pretty high in protein. It's high in chlorophyll. It's high in all these things. So I think a smoothie in the morning is a great way for anyone who wants to transition into veganism, or if they're just interested in improving their health.
Yeah, no, I'm a believer in the smoothie. That's the only way I can eat 2 cups of kale in one drink with some mango. What?
Yes,
I
mango is
mean,
amazing.
never in my life was I able to eat kale like that
Of
until I
course.
discovered the smoothie. Now, how are
Yeah.
you feeling as a result of being a vegan? Talk about the way you physically feel, but then I know you are kind of enlightened. You say you're like living on a higher level
No, I don't
because
say
of the way you.
that.
Well, yeah, I read the blog. Hey guys,
Well,
go to Eric Sanchez, EricESanchez.com, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
when I was on my, well, I mentioned when I went on my 90-day juice fast, there were periods where I did definitely feel like my brain had turned on. I think when your body is spending less time just trying to digest food, because that's what humans do. We eat and we eat and we eat and we eat,
Yep.
and we don't really give ourselves a break. Whereas animals in the wild, they only eat when food is available. You know, there's certain animals that if they eat grass and there's grass everywhere, then they get to eat all the time as well. But there's a lot of animals in the wild that, you know, they might go a day or two just healthy, because when you're fasting, your body is detoxing. It's spending the energy that it would be processing your food to detox. So there were a few points where I did feel like, I guess you could say, blissful. I felt very calm, and it was a calm that came about me that I've never really experienced before. I mentioned that in the blog post about fasting. A lot of religions, they fast to get closer to God, or to just
Absolutely.
be. Yeah, and I've noticed I never was a very religious person. I was raised Catholic, but I wasn't. I never really practiced it myself. But during my fast, I wanted to pray more, and I wanted to do more spiritual things, and I wanted to meditate, and those are things that I've kept even to my daily routine today. So yeah, that's what when I say spirit, I don't want to say I'm enlightened or like, try to sound like,
I was
ooh,
trying to
I'm
think of the
still a
right
human being.
word.
Yeah, but I totally get what you were, what you were saying.
You know, this kind of reminds me like when you're talking about the foods you should eat and you're doing the supplements. Back when Nipsey Hussle passed away, I
Hmm.
started researching him and his lifestyle, and it led me to Dr. Sebede. And
Sabi.
how do you pronounce it?
Is Dr. Sabi.
Sabi.
Yeah.
Okay. Sabi. So
Yes.
sorry. May he, rest in peace. He passed
Yeah.
away. He was really at the forefront of talking about how disease manifests in the body and how a healthy lifestyle and a healthy diet can really protect you from that. And
Hmm.
just kind of looking at all of the different things about staying away from meats, dairy, nuts, and things like that. Have you
Hmm.
studied this doctor at all? And tell
Dr.
me
Sabi.
about
Yes.
your influencers. Yeah, your vegan
Yeah,
influencers.
yeah. So my journey is so interesting because I first went vegan. I didn't know anything about animal agriculture, so it really wasn't for the animals. It was for my health. I had a couple of health issues. So I had, this is gonna sound weird. I had like weird symptoms. I would have like shooting pains in my heart sometimes, undiagnosed. I don't know what that was. I would get like really bad headaches sometimes and like a shooting pain to my head. I developed alopecia, which is actually you start to get like bald spots on your head, which is an autoimmune disease. That's what the medical community calls it.
And what
And I had,
does autoimmune mean?
they say that it's your body attacking yourself. All it is your lymphatic system on overload. It just means that your body is extremely acidic based off of the chemistry you're consuming. So if you're
Okay.
consuming a lot of meat and dairy and eggs and not enough fruits and vegetables, which the average American does, you're going to eventually you can become acidic. Some people live to a very old age and they don't, but that's because maybe their parents were very healthy, so they inherited their you inherit your mother's lymphatic system, your mother's sewer system. That's why people are born, you get whatever your mother had. That's basically the quality that you have. So that person
Okay.
could be healthy, and because a lot of people say things like, oh, my grandmother had Pepsi and Coke all the time and she lived to 100, but the
Right.
way the meat that she was eating was probably very different quality, the grain she was
Oh,
eating was
yeah.
different quality, and then her daughter is a little bit weaker, and then her daughter is a little bit weaker, and then it's like a snowball effect. So some people are just lucky, but that doesn't mean that their great grandchildren aren't going to be the ones to suffer.
And our grandmothers, they were not eating the meat that's available today. They were probably
Yeah.
eating meat from a farm very close to where they grew up.
Exactly.
I know mine was for sure.
I was just talking to my grandmother. She's from Dominican Republic. She had backyard chickens. They weren't pumped
Yep.
with antibiotics. They were happy right up to the point that they didn't even know that they were going to die. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, because there's a lot of adrenaline in slaughterhouses and there's a lot of fear there. And then they are given a lot of like antibiotics. And so, we eat that as well when humans consume the meat. But I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent.
No, it's okay
Back.
though. You were just talking about your vegan. You're an influencer to Instagram, but who are some of the doctors and experts of the world who influenced you as a vegan?
So definitely Dr. Sabi, I would say he was the first. So I
Okay.
went to the Usha village, which is his village in Honduras. He had
Wow.
already passed away, so I never got to meet him, but I did meet his nephew, and his nephew was able to talk to me and then show me a few herbs. I have them written down. There's so many herbs in the world, some that we've never heard of, many that we've never heard of, that are native to certain parts of the world, like South America or Africa. So it's very exciting because all herbs have their own like level of consciousness and their own way to assist the body. And there's always more to learn and more out there that can help people.
Wow.
So I would definitely say he was one of my biggest influences, and part of my healing journey. The interesting part about that is when I went to the Usha village, I was only there for about a week, but I didn't get the healing that I thought that I was supposed to get. So that was one of the first places I went to, because I had been to so many doctors, medical doctors who weren't able to do anything about my symptoms. They didn't know what was going on. I actually had one doctor tell me that maybe I just had bad genes. Like maybe I just inherited bad genes. So here I am thinking that I'm damaged. So, I was very depressed. It's probably the lowest point I've ever been in my life. And I went to Honduras. I went to a country in Europe for some healing. It didn't work. I didn't know anything about raw living foods at this point. So eventually I found Dr. Robert Morris, which is, he's the owner of the school that I went to, the International School of Detoxification. And he advocates eating raw living foods like all the other living beings on the planet do, that don't get sick and that don't have all the diseases that we have. So I started eating that way. And eventually I actually got to get my, this is a whole nother thing, but there's something called Iridology, where they can look into your eyes, and your body's organs are connected to your eyes. So you can see your liver through your eyes and different things. You can see the quality of your different organs. So he was able to look in my eye. They took a picture and they put it like up to us. They like magnify it, and then they put it next to this photo that tells you what part of the eyes are what. And he was able to tell me, without me telling him what my conditions were, he was able to tell me, you have problems in your head, you have problems in your heart. Yeah, he was able to tell me like all these things. And he said, he told me you have extremely good genes. Like which is funny because remember that doctor told me I probably had damaged genes.
Right,
he was like, you have very, very good genes. He was like, I don't see someone with these genes often. If you detoxify your body and you keep on going, you can reach levels and heights that you never thought were possible. You can get very, very strong. So it was like at that moment that I knew, okay, this is my truth, because here I am feeling bad because this natural doctor, this alternative doctor is telling me that I have bad genes. But then this healer that has healed people from MS, that has healed people from stage 4 cancer, like within 3 months. You know what I'm saying? He's telling me that I have a good constitution and a good body. That was so validating. And that was when I was like, this is my truth. And it was, all my symptoms are gone. I don't have alopecia. You can see I have a full head of hair. Yeah. Everything goes away. If you eat raw living foods, your body turns on.
Though? That was crazy. People are in the comment section. They're just going off. They're talking about, could it be a cure for this? I mean, those are huge, like world changing things. But I know one thing, it's definitely something that will be healthy and sustain you. No doctor on the planet is going to say, eat less vegetables, eat less fruit. And you say, absolutely, Eric, that humans are actually frugivores and we should be eating more fruit. People get mixed up fruit with sugar. And it's like, no, you don't want to cut out fruit when you try to cut down sugar. So can you explain that? Exactly.
So humans, our closest living relatives are the bonobos. So it's we share, I think, 98.9% of DNA with them. It's something like that. It's really high up, and their diet is predominantly
fruit. It's pretty high, but yeah.
Yeah. Their diet is predominantly
fruit. It's pretty high, but.
And if you look at the gorillas, so they eat lots of greens, but they also eat fruit too. They eat, I think, it's around like 60. I could be wrong. I don't want to get this wrong. I think it's about 60% fruit, and like the rest are greens. So our closest living relatives, that they don't get diabetes, they don't get all these things. They live in the wild. They got to just deal with what's there and eat that stuff. They don't get all these issues, and they eat predominantly fruits and vegetables. So that's that. They've also done studies. Also, if you just compare our teeth to carnivores or to even herbivores grind back and forth. We just go up and down. It's not easy for us to like really like grind. We don't sit here and grind, kale for a long time, but it's still healthy. That's why I say like blend your kale and do things like that. You still want to get your greens in, but fruits are so high in energy, and they're just so good for you. They're so filled with oxygen. Maybe the fruits today aren't the best at the grocery stores, but if you can manage to grow your own fruit, I would definitely say to get it in.
You should try, especially in this pandemic. I can't even tell you how happy I am where I'm like, you know what? I use my kale garden for everything, even lettuce. If we have like a salmon burger for lettuce, I use my
Mhm.
kale garden. For tomato, I use my kale garden. You know, of
That's
course, you
awesome.
can't grow avocados on the East Coast, but I would
Unfortunately,
rather.
I love avocados. I could eat avocados all day.
Me too, right? You
Guacamole.
can you can use avocados for mayonnaise. We started doing that, and I love it. I'm like, you don't need
So
mayonnaise.
much healthier too. That's the
I
crazy part.
know, right?
No
So
saturated fat, no harm, no nothing. Like
see,
it's good. It's a healthy fat. It's good for
that's
you. It's
why
so
I'm
good for you. And for
vegan
your skin.
adjacent.
Yes.
Now, somebody's asking about a food they should just drop. They're not ready to go vegan. They're not ready to go vegetarian, but they're willing to drop one food from their diet. What would you recommend?
Everyone was gonna hate me for this, but I would definitely say it would be cheese, dairy, cheese and eggs. I mean not cheese and eggs, cheese
Really?
and milk. Yeah, it's actually
Over meat, over red meat.
yes, yes, yes. That's how bad it is. Um, cheese, especially milk. I would just say dairy in general. With milk, they pasteurize it. So if you're gonna have raw milk or raw goat's milk or something like that, if you can manage to get that, which 99% of people can't get that unless they know someone who has a farm, which I don't advocate for anyway since I am vegan, but goats are closer in weight to humans. There's so many hormones in dairy milk, and that's the milk from a cow is meant to like be given to a baby cow that's supposed to grow up to like 500 pounds very quickly. So there's so much hormones. It's meant for rapid growth. If you look at little kids today, especially like little girls, a lot of times they're developing way quicker than they used to, and it's because of
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
these hormones in the food and the chicken and the antibiotics. So the human race is slowly starting to deteriorate, and it's kind of sad.
Wow.
But milk is pasteurized. So when you pasteurize drinks, any type of drink, juice, anything, you kill off a lot of the nutrients. And what I heard from Dr. Morris, he actually said they pasteurize milk so much because because the blood gets into the milk and so does like pus and whatnot. So they have to pasteurize it to kill off those harmful bacteria that is basically a few classes away from plastic. Like it's like you're drinking something
What?
that,
Oh
yeah,
my
your body
God.
is fully rejecting it. Yeah,
I
it's
have
that
never
bad.
heard that before. You okay? That's shocking. I wasn't expecting to hear
But there's so many plant-based milks. Have you ever
plastic.
tried oat
Really?
milk? Yeah, it's that. I mean, obviously, it's not. A lot of people don't
Okay.
know that they're consuming plastic by just eating fish as
Yeah,
well. A
well,
lot.
fake cheese, right? Artificial cheese is like
Mhm.
that was one thing. Okay, you got me on that one. I was
Have you
not
ever tried
ready
any
for that.
plant-based milks though? Have you had like oat milk or anything like that? It's actually pretty
So
good.
we actually don't drink dairy milk in my
Okay.
again vegan adjacent.
Yes.
Okay, like I'm not
I
off
love
of
it.
meat, but we do almond milk. Yep. Michael
Yep.
Jose is saying he does almond milk in the comment
Absolutely
section.
better. Yes.
Um, I do cream in my coffee, and I know coffee is acidic, but
Hmm.
I do organic cream. I don't know.
Hmm.
Somebody's saying in Long Island you can get unpasteurized goat milk. Thank you for
Oh
that
wow.
comment.
I would have never known that. Okay.
I will tell you this, Eric. When I went and I studied abroad in Europe, I remember having a conversation with one of my professors, and she was like, "You Americans drink a lot of milk." She was like, "I drank milk straight from a cow, and then when I was a kid, and then we just stopped." And she was looking at me perplexed as to why people in America drink
Well,
so much milk and eat so much cheese.
we're the only species that drinks like breast milk after we get at a certain age. You know what I'm saying? Like we still go up until adulthood drinking this hormone, antibiotic rich. I don't even like to say the word rich associating it with milk, but it's like, it's just so bad for us. And a lot of people don't realize that the dairy is the worst. It's the most mucus forming. It causes the most phlegm. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it just causes the most obstruction. Your cells they don't know what to do with it. It's like when it goes in, your body is actually in self-defense mode. You don't feel it right away, but go raw vegan for 2 months and
Wow.
then drink a cup of milk, you'll probably pass out.
Crazy. Okay, so doctor, tell me his name again. Sebi?
Dr. Sabi, yes.
Sabi. Okay, so Dr. Sabi was saying a lot of buildup of diseases in the body is a manifestation of buildup of mucus in your
Mucus.
system, and acid, right, is
Mhm.
something that's not good for your system. So what are some neutralizing foods? Like people, they just want to, I really want this to be, if you just want to start, if you're a hardcore vegan, then be validated in what Eric
Right.
is saying. But what are some foods that can kind of neutralize the pH balance
The
of
acidity.
Mm-hmm.
I always say the best thing anybody could do, regardless of what your diet is to have fruit first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Fruit is the most detoxifying food, and it also gently wakes up your digestive tract. So when you wake up, you don't want to go straight for, even if you want to have coffee, just if you can give it a little bit of time, if you can go straight for a smoothie. So have put some kale in there, and then just some mango, whatever you want, frozen fruit too, frozen strawberries, whatever. That's going to gently wake up your digestive tract. and it's going to slowly start to detoxify you and kind of just wake up your body. So I would say the best thing you could do, and it's super alkaline, so that's probably the best thing you can do to start to kind of.
That's what you want. All the acidic foods is the meat, the dairy,
Yes.
all that stuff you're packing, the eggs, carbs, bread. Is that also acidic?
Well, yeah, it is. That's the thing with it. I'm hesitant to mention. Yeah, I'm hesitant to mention things like that because everyone's like, "Oh, everything is fucking acidic. Everything's bad."
You know what a typical American breakfast is? Pancakes or biscuit, eggs and bacon. Like everything on the list that you're saying is gonna make your body go crazy.
I would say that, yeah, it's just, there's so much information, there's so much you can do. There's a lot of plant-based versions of those foods. The reason why I'm hesitant to mention that is because the plant-based versions aren't that much healthier, because a lot of them are processed. It's for people that want to transition into veganism, but they still want that familiar taste so much to the tea that it's not the healthiest. What I would say is add the fruit. Everyone has a favorite fruit, you know what I'm saying? Have the smoothie in the morning. Throughout the day, if you can, let's say if you want to have a burger with fries, instead of having soda or iced tea with that, drink water. And as a matter of fact, squeeze a lemon into that water. That's going to be really good for your digestion as well. So you can just start to do things like that. Yeah. Back when I ate meat, I was lucky. My mom raised me to, like, for whatever reason, to not really be into like juice and to soda. So I would always have water with even though I ate like crap, I always have water with it. So I felt that much better because like all my friends were having a Coke with it and it was just making everything worse. So just try to increase the amount of foods that have liquid in them. So fruits. If you want a snack and you're hungry, say, instead of going for the cupcake today, maybe I'll just go for a banana. And when I eat the banana, I probably won't be hungry anymore. So just start making those, incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your diet, however you can.
That's so true. So I'm off the soda completely. And with my son, he's 6 years old.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he's like, he sees his friends. He's like, "Mommy, can I have soda?" And I'm like, "I'll give you some sparkling water with a splash of juice." And I mean,
I was just about to say that. Yeah, sprinkle something in there.
Yeah.
How about sparkling water, and you could like blend up some strawberries and add it to the sparkling water or something like that? You know, that's a natural sweetener. You can do something like that.
I try. It's hard though because there's peer pressure. There's peer pressure for kids, and to me,
oh my God, yeah.
When I see parents give their kids a can of Coke, my heart sinks in. Or like a bag of a brightly colored chip snack. You know, I don't want to name any names, but I'm like, do you know how many chemicals go into making that snack?
Oh my God, yeah.
Red or
bad.
orange?
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know?
Yeah, so a lot of these things have like 50 chemicals in them.
50 chemicals in it, minimum.
Yeah.
And giving it to a 5 and a 6-year-old? Are you crazy?
it's really sad. It's crazy because the government allows this, and it's because there's no money in people being well. Not to get into like a huge conspiracy, but that's what the truth is. If everybody was healthy and everybody was just vibrant, and you know what I'm saying, nobody would want to. No one would need to go to the doctor. No one would need to be on medication. So they rather give you medication.
Every time I talk to somebody such as yourself who's an herbalist or a naturalist or a vegan, we always go down, it's not good for big business. Big brother.
It's not. That's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. And it's funny because that's what I've been called, not really been called, but people have insinuated like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, or they'll say something like that. But the thing is that it's funny. What happens is when you naturally heal yourself after years and years and years of being told that you're not going to be able to heal yourself, or that you are going to stay sick or whatever, you're going to have to be on medication for the rest of your life, and you go to 3 different countries, and then you finally find that it's as simple as eating raw living food and taking herbs, doing a little bit of fasting, and everything just goes away within like a month or 2. And then you're meeting people that cured their stage 4 breast cancer in 3 months of fasting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, so if they can lie about this. Oh my
gosh, when you say that though, I'm scared. I'm like, wait. People have cancer out there. This is real. I don't want to be giving anybody any false hope. You know, so it's kind of like, there's got to be something more to it, Eric.
It's not false hope. I want to encourage everybody to look up, I can type it in, but Dr. Robert Morse on YouTube. Type in Dr. Robert Morse and cancer. I personally met people, so I'm not speaking just off of like, oh, maybe this could happen. If you have cancer, another word for cancer is damaged cells. That is the name that the medical community put on it. They like to call symptoms diseases. People that are like myself, we just call everything acidity. The only one true disease is acid. So if you're eating acidic foods, eventually you get a lot of acid in your body. If the acid accumulates in your your hand, maybe you'll get cancer on your hand, or you'll get acne on your hand, or you'll get damage. That's what it is. So if you can just get rid of the acid in your body, everything else goes away. So they call it cancer, but another word for cancer is damaged cells. feed your cells and give your body the adequate energy that it needs to get rid of things. So to loosen up your lymphatic system, like I said, that's your body sewer system, and you can get rid of anything. There's a book, I don't know if I have it on me, but it's called The Grape Cure by Johanna Brandt. Grape like the fruit, The Grape Cure. She had stage 4 cancer, and she ate nothing but grapes for 40 days and got rid of her breast cancer. And that's just one example. Some people it might take longer because their lymphatic systems might be in worse shape. But your lymphatic system is your key. And that is what I was trained in. A lot of people don't have training in the lymphatic system. A lot of doctors
I got
don't.
to put the disclaimer for you guys watching. The fruit and vegetables will help, but please, check your doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has to be said. Yeah.
But you know what? I'm lucky. I have a very enlightened doctor. I like my medical group I go to. And when I go in, they say, well, I can give you medicine, but cranberry juice will help this or something
nice.
like that. Oh, people
That's a special
are asking.
doctor.
Yeah. So it's good to have like a medical doctor back you up with your natural research. People are asking about papaya. I had 2 questions come in about papaya. So is that a superfood? Do you eat it? What do you think about it?
I think any fruit is great. I don't personally like papaya. My mom loves it. I just don't, for whatever reason, the taste doesn't resonate with me. But I think if it's a fruit, it's great.
Hate it. Yeah, I like papaya, but it's like black licorice. You either like it or
you hate it. Exactly.
Okay. Somebody's asking, what's a typical day of eating to cleanse? What's a typical day of eating that you would suggest in an effort to cleanse your body?
I think, okay, so if you want to cleanse, I call it's detoxification. I think the word cleanse can be overused. So if, let's say you want to do like a 2-day detox type of thing, I would say for those 2 days, the only way to really detoxify your body is to basically open up your lymphatic system, open up your kidneys and your bladder. So I would say for those 2 days, you want to eat raw, just raw food. So wake up and have a big bowl of fruit. Then if you get hungry again, 2 hours later, have a smoothie. Then take something like chlorella. Chlorella is
I have my chlorella, by the way. I'm like on week 2 of the chlorella.
That's awesome. So yeah, something like that. That's still going to allow you to get all the nutrition in you need, the vitamins and minerals, but it's going to allow your body to just kind of wake up. You're going to feel different after those 2 days. You'll probably start using the bathroom a lot because your body's going to just start to flush things out. So I would say the best thing and maybe have a salad. That's a great, if you want to chew on something and not just like drink or eat fruit, make yourself a nice salad, cut yourself up an avocado, make some type of homemade dressing. There's so many recipes online. You can also just do something as simple as like olive oil and then squeeze a lemon or lime and then put in some sea salt. That's always great. That's what I would say. So
buying salad, I hope the salad dressing lobbyists don't get me, but I think buying salad dressing in a bottle is just a waste of money. When you can get olive oil, vinegar, orange juice, salt, lemon, I mean, that is, to me, is like something you can just whip up.
Do it yourself. And there's so many recipes that are 100% free online. Like you can make dressings from avocados and blending them up with certain things. I've made my own sesame seed dressings. I made so many types of. I made my own there's some recipes that I think I posted them on my website already. But there's so many different like raw dressings that you can look up on YouTube, and people are showing you how it's like 5 ingredients and it tastes like one of the best things ever. So yeah, I think a lot of salad dressings that you get at the store, they have so many chemicals and so many additives that it actually kind of kills the purpose of eating a salad.
Oh yeah, because it has to be able to last on the shelf for like a year minimum. So they have to put something in it to make it shelf stable.
Absolutely.
Right? So okay, so we're going up on 45 minutes. We had a lot of people join. Thank you guys for joining. I feel like I learned some stuff, and I need to throw away the cheese in my refrigerator now. My one weakness, cheese and chocolate. Okay, I'm gonna ask one more question, and then I want your key takeaways. So somebody's saying romaine lettuce, cabbage. Finely chop your romaine lettuce, dice up those cucumbers, carrots, onions, tomatoes, parsley. They're naming all this stuff. Is there any vegetables out there that you would say, Eric, just don't work, or you shouldn't eat too much of? Or would you say you can't eat enough fruit? You can't eat enough vegetables?
I think you can always eat as many fruits and vegetables as you want. I think like sometimes you look at the starchier stuff, like the potatoes and the which I've always loved, potatoes and sweet potatoes. Those aren't the best for like detoxifying your body, but in the winter they can come in handy. And I'd rather someone eat a potato than to have, I don't know, a milkshake. So I would say if it's a fruit or a vegetable, a leafy green, just incorporate more of that into your diet. Have a smoothie a day. That's what I want to leave everybody with. In the morning, have a nice smoothie. Whatever your favorite fruits and vegetables are, add them into the smoothie, and you're going to be off to a better start. You're going to feel different. Do it for 30 days, every day.
I love it because Vibrate Love Daily, that's their Instagram name. They're saying,
Yes.
do you recommend a smoothie cleanse? And he just said it. He just answered your question. Do those smoothies. Which cooked foods would you recommend? Somebody's asking before I let you go.
Cooked food, I would say the lightest, just the lightest and easiest to digest. Like get yourself some quinoa, or some rice, and maybe some beans. And whenever you have those cooked foods, if you can add like some cherry tomatoes or some vegetables or some hummus, something around it that is raw. You know what I'm saying? Eat your food that is cooked with some raw food on the side. You know what I'm saying? Look up the Blue Zone diet. That's some of the longest living people in the world. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Blue Zone, yeah, no, that's like a major book series. Yes.
Yeah, and they're not even vegan. They have a small portion of meat, but it's kind of like opposite of Americans, where we have very small salad. Most of their diet is the greens and the fruits and the vegetables, and then they have a little bit of fish and whatnot. So you can start to transition that way.
Your meat is your condiment. It's not even your side dish. Your meat should be your condiment. And so I'm at the point now where I'm like, I can have a big vegetable, teriyaki, stir fry, whatever. And then meat is just like on the side to give me that little that I need.
A little something.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. But at the beginning of this, I promised I would show you my composter. Okay.
Yes,
So
I want to see it.
Do you guys see this? This is huge,
Wow.
right?
You're a pro.
Oh my God, no. It's my husband.
No.
But I bought it for him for his birthday. But we're into the same thing.
Awesome.
You know that joke from Chris Rock? You know, if you're into crack, you got to date somebody who's into crack.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, if you're into composting and
You gotta
vegan,
date someone who's
you got to date somebody who's into it.
Does your son help you at all?
What?
Does your son help you at all with like the gardening and stuff?
His job is to take the composting bin from the kitchen to in here. So
that's awesome.
This is all
wow.
leftover. That the white stuff is cabbage and eggs and stuff. Believe it or not, it doesn't even stink. It doesn't smell. So then we lock it up like this, and then just let it marinate in the summer heat, and then it just turns into soil.
It's so
now
interesting.
Let me go over to this part of my garden. So then it turns into this dark black rich soil that you would pay $7 a bag for, you know, at your hardware store. And then all of this, you know,
comes from it. That's so cool.
And now look at my tomatoes.
Oh, I wish I had. I live in New York City. I do not have room for that, but that looks amazing. I would love to have that.
Next time I make it up to Sirius XM, I'm bringing some kale leaves.
Oh, I'll take it.
I'm gonna take some in right now because you inspired me. I'm like, I gotta make my smoothie. I gotta get my life right, my mind right.
Yes, and also understand that raw can be fun. Like guacamole is raw. You like guacamole? I think everyone likes guacamole.
I love it. Oh my God!
I just had some.
Guacamole.
I took a piece of lettuce. You could use kale, and I took I made some guacamole, just basic ingredients, and I put it on the lettuce, and I ate it like a taco. And it's like one of the easiest raw meals. You know what I'm saying? You eat a lot of raw food, I'm sure. Just having that. Like
the fact that I can just go in my garden and do this, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I will do about like maybe 6 or 7 of these leaves and have a smoothie. I love that. I mean, that like that's to me is so cool. So people are asking for you to come to Florida, Eric, but I'm going to just ask you to tell them where they can find you online, so you don't have to travel during the road.
I actually am going to Florida on Saturday, funny enough.
Oh, God
my mom lives there. But you can find me on Instagram. It's Eric Sanchez, the number 3 RIC, and then Sanchez last name. And my website is ericesanchez.com. The link is in my bio.
Yay! Congrats on your certification.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'll be following you as usual. Thank you for coming on my Glow Girl Chat. This has been a production of glowstreamtv.com, guys.
Yes, go follow Glowstream.
Yes, follow Glowstream TV. I'm trying to do all types of things that enlighten people, make you feel better, up level in life. And this is it. This is the real deal right here.
This is it. Yep. That's the goal right there.
This is like a broom for your colon, but we're not going to get into that. You just have to discover it on your own.
Yes.
Okay, let me get out of this garden because the mosquitoes are getting me. But thank you for joining me.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Take
Have a good one.